I helped Tinubu become president, but APC has lost its bearing and Peter Obi is a phenomenon. Fayemi opens up on party crisis, restructuring, and 2027. Okay? Former Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi has delivered one of the most candid and wide-ranging assessment of the state of the All Progressive Congress APC by any serving member of the party, admitting that the party he helped build has shifted from its founding ideals, revealing that he personally advised President Bola Tinubu to reach out to Labour Party's Peter Obi after the 2023 election and was rebuffed. Why are you telling him to reach out? Reach out for what? And describing the APC's 2023 victory as a minority win that should have produced a national unity government rather than the winner-takes-all approach that has deepened Nigeria's division. Fayemi made the disclosure during an extensive interview on State Affairs, a podcast hosted by Edmund Obilo, where he reflected on his political journey, his role in Tinubu's emergence as president, the rise of Peter Obi as a political phenomenon, and his vision for restructuring Nigeria, while also confirming that he was the one who brokered the deal that brought the J5 governors, including Nyesom Wike, into Tinubu's fold during the 2023 campaign. It was you. Fayemi recounted how he stepped down for Tinubu during the APC presidential primary. You stepped down. Explaining that he did so because of their shared history in the political trenches. Tinubu and I had been in the trenches together. Of all the people who were in the race with me, at least it was someone that I was very familiar with his trajectory in politics, with his courage, with his consistency, with his can-do spirit, and that I was a much younger person and that there's still time for me. Fayemi recalled. He then revealed that he went beyond merely stepping down, actively working to secure Tinubu's victory, including brokering the critical alliance with the G5 PDP governors who had fallen out with their party's presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar. I then went ahead to do what I had to do in order to ensure that he won, including bringing the G5 into his fold. By the way, Fayemi disclosed. When pressed on how he achieved this, Fayemi explained that as chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, he had cross-party relationships that positioned him to bridge the gap. I knew what challenges they were going through on the other side, and I felt I was reasonably well positioned to bridge the gap once they fell into difficulty with their own party and their candidate Atiku. He said, declining to reveal the specific details of the negotiation and referring the interviewer to his forthcoming memoirs. In one of the interview's most striking passages, Fayemi described the rise of Peter Obi in the 2023 election as a political phenomenon that caught the APC off guard. It was a wave, it was a phenomenon, Fayemi stated, admitting he did not see it coming. Honestly, no, I was not oblivious of the fact that there was deep-seated resentment in the country, but I believed that we would scale through as a party, and we did scale through partly because the opposition divided itself. Asked directly whether the APC is afraid of Peter Obi, Fayemi responded, why should we be afraid of him? He is a formidable contestant, yes, he is formidable. Anybody who would come up with the number of votes that he did in the 2023 election could not be treated with levity. He shouldn't be. He extended the same respect to the other opposition candidates. Even Rabi Kwakwanso had 1 million plus votes. It is not easy to come by such number of votes. These are serious-minded Nigerians and they have a legitimate claim to say they want to run for president. Fayemi made a remarkably frank admission about the nature of the APC's 2023 victory, describing it in political science terms as a minority victory. We won 36% of the votes, and that's 36% of 20% of the electorate. The electorate, according to INEC, was almost 90 million. But that particular vote, the turnout was about 21 million collectively, so that 36% of that 21 million by any definition was a minority, Fayemi stated. He quickly added that the victory was constitutionally valid. The Constitution of Nigeria does not ask you to win 50% plus 1 before you are declared, so we have no apology to make about that. However, he argued that the APC should have responded to the narrow mandate by building a government of inclusion. My approach should have been to bring in those who got those other votes, but that's why I have argued that even 10% of the votes deserve 10% of the seat at the table. Fayemi said. Fayemi revealed that after the 2023 election, he personally advised President Tinubu to reach out to Obi and build a national unity government, advice that was not taken. I even advised the president that we have to reach out to Mr. Peter Obi. I told him all this, Fayemi disclosed. When asked what happened, Fayemi responded, well, The APC has hijacked everything. He cited examples of other countries where similar approaches worked. Kenya, where President Ruto accommodated opposition leader Odinga. Germany's coalition model, and South Africa, where Ramaphosa built a government of national unity. Zero-sum game always leads inexorably to interminable division. That's what we are seeing, Fayemi warned. Fayemi was unflinching in his criticism of the APC's current state, admitting that the party has lost both its ideological compass and the vision of its founders. We have lost our bearing and we've lost the vision of the founding fathers of this party. Fayemi stated nothing that he had made these views public at the Southwest Conference of the party in Lagos. Asked about intellectualism within the APC, Fayemi was blunt. You don't see intellectualism because there is no debate in our party. There is no debate. He criticized the party's turn towards consensus and imposition over competitive primaries. There is nothing in principle wrong with consensus if it is genuine consensus. However, I'm a product of a democratic process and I would always be on the side of primaries all the time, Fayemi stated. He warned that the APC's approach of absorbing opposition politicians and governors was unsustainable. If you buy them in that manner, then you are breeding internal opposition within our own fold, he cautioned. In his most politically charged observation, Fayemi suggested that Nigeria may be drifting towards what political scientists call competitive authoritarianism, a system where autocratic governance is disguised in the trappings of democracy. A lot of autocrats are covering their system and government in the garb of democracy, whether you are talking of Erdogan, or you are talking of Putin, or you are talking of Trump, or you are talking of the man who just got kicked out of Hungary. Oh, I about this and where they talk. Oh, I beg. Anyway, says you are the problem of Nigeria. Do you get it? Deny Nigerians from protesting and voting leaders of their choice because all this gibberish that you are saying there. Okuchukwu says mad people everywhere talking. I'm telling you. Joshua says once the government doesn't favor their pockets, they start talking restructuring. We keep granting orders to nuisance in politics. Is the Tinubu of any good at the moment? Don't mind him. It means that you are not only part of the problem, but you are the main problem that we are facing today as a nation. Adebayo says you don't have wit again, even in your state, so keep quiet. It didn't help Tinubu, instead it helped you. Olu says, liar, you never supported Tinubu to become president. You, JKF, Amechi, Arebeshola, Osinbajo, Digi, Oyegun, and Baniwe were Southerners that the ASU walkabouts used against Asiwaju to stop him. You withdrew at Echo Square when you discovered that even the state delegates were not behind you. JKF, your anger today was because you were not made foreign affairs minister. You have been trashed politically. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.